how semen retention might actually make you feel empty and shocked at first. But here's the thing, guys. When you do something like semen retention, you got to understand what's actually happening, okay? When you have sexual urges that drive you so intensely and they leak into small things, right? Edging, which is described or defined as not necessarily jerking off or masturbating, but anything that stimulates you sexually but doesn't make you climax. When you see an attractive woman of the opposite sex, you don't know this, but that is edging. When you think about a woman who you find attractive, that is edging. Now, here's where it gets deep, guys. People's entire life is constantly influenced by clicking that button again and again, all day, every day. Even looking at what outfit you want to wear and imagining how you're going to look when you walk outside. Most of the time, men care instinctively about impressing women. All of this, guys, causes you to be fogged. Your entire mind's awareness becomes, how do I look to her, this girl, that girl? How do I appear? How do I sound? How can I get more? And you don't even realize that when you're not on semen retention. But here's the empty, shocking part. Because you see where your insecurities used to be when you were more sexually charged and lustful, out of control, when you needed a woman to look at you and compliment you for you to feel good, where you really thought that that meant anything real, and you step out of that and you're facing your own inner, you can call it inner demons, whatever you want to call it, your inner reflections of how you feel about these things. You start to walk in what is the real truth about what you want. And there's a presence that you start to embody that will make other people's, it will literally make people uncomfortable just because your presence in of itself immediately triggers things in them. Reflection. It triggers immediate reflection. Your presence shines light on things that are there about themselves. You reflect back to them where they are not calm. You reflect back to people where they are not chill about all these things. And it's kind of hard to describe, but here's the thing, guys. Most humans are operating off of completely deceptive things. Everything most humans do, guys, you guys don't understand this. If you're on semen retention, you're going to start to feel this. And there's levels to this. I had no idea it was going to get to this point, guys. Where when you see more truth, you see things for what they are. Things start to feel empty at first. And I know it's temporary because I've been through cycles where, it's depressing at first and then I get better. And then it's another empty cycle realization. It's called disillusionment, where everything you thought was real and cool was never real. All the times people said things to you that you thought they were saying it because they were genuinely saying it to you, later you come to find out with this awareness that there was hidden agendas and hidden intentions behind why people say things to you that has to do with feeding their own insecurities, their fear of not being accepted as a human. Right? The fears that humans have of being judged, 90% of people, guys, because nobody does semen retention pretty much in the West. Most people, everything they say, everything has only to do with constantly soothing their insecurities and gaining their own, stroking their false identity, false sense of self, their ego, because your ego is a false sense of self. Your ego is a false sense of self because, guys, every single human has been a baby. Every single human has been dumb and done funny, stupid things. No one is perfect, right? But as you walk this path, you become whole and very comfortable with who you are as a person. And this is one of the benefits you get, which is, what do you call it? Confidence boost on semen retention. Energy boost on semen retention. You get a lot of great benefits. Okay? But the other thing you got to understand is this. As you level up your self-control, you have to use the energy you get properly. Right? So if you play video games all day with all this extra energy you have, you're just going to waste time and energy. So every time you play video games, dopamine releases. And, that leaves you with less motivation after you're done playing video games. Right? Every time no one's perfect, right? Like, it doesn't mean you can't play, video games. I used to love playing Minecraft, right? Like, it's whatever, right? But it's just like every single hit of pleasure lowers your ability to say no to pleasure. And pleasure is the main block of you seeing your true self. Because it starts with yourself first, right? Once you see your own true self, like the things you truly long for, the things you truly desire in your life, and, all of that, your ambitions, your hobbies, your goals, the things you like, guys. Once you understand the real things you like and not the things that are being influenced by your insecurities that come from the need to be validated by the opposite sex because you're so out of you lack self-control with the sexual urges. So with fitness, it amplifies retention. So here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. This will not work. You will not understand what I'm saying to the depth that you can if you do retention, but then all day you think about women and you're edging. If you do semen retention, but you edge and you peek at Instagram models all day, you're scrolling at in the evenings, and you're like this all day without, having to take a step back and remind yourself to stop. The technique you can always do is just do a plank every single time you get an urge. Or do push-ups. Do 20 push-ups every time you get an urge. Something physical to bring your mind from the thoughts, the whatever, and into your body. And just focused on that. You can't really be urging out, edging, while doing 20 push-ups, The 8th push-up in, you're already tired, right? So that's one method. But guys, you must use silence. So when you step into your backyard or somewhere quiet, if you give yourself 20 minutes of just allowing your brain to show you what is in your brain, you're going to get a lot of depth. But guys, I've been on this for 190 days plus, bro. the longer you're on it, the more life starts to change and show you things. And that empty feeling just really comes from all the things. Guys, if you are not currently on semen retention, it is like taking the red pill. This is going to sound so repetitive and cliche, but it's true. It is like taking the red pill from the Matrix, right? All the things you thought were real, they were legit. They were this way, that way. Legit, it's real. Start to show up as completely fabricated by insecurities. I'm talking everything you could think of. It takes a long time to get to this level though. And it's like an empty cycle and then rebirth. So at first you feel empty in general in the beginning because all you want to do is watch it to try to, numb your insecurities, numb your urges, right? So that causes you to feel empty. But once the empty cycle wears off, you end up feeling better. But that goes on and on, again, refining yourself again and again. Every empty cycle, every empty season is setting up the next rocket launch for your benefits, for more realizations, more epiphanies about life, and more importantly, about yourself. So, yes, semen retention can be empty at times. But it's not necessarily semen retention. It's seeing through the veil, guys. Seeing through why we do things as humans. And it seems to be that the number one thing is fear. We're caught between a life full of courage and faith with God, especially, right? And if you don't believe in God, then whatever else you can use, you have to stand for something, your own truth, for truth, regardless. We're in between courage and faith and fear. But the moment you step into fear, that's where people start, human nature starts lying. Human nature starts trying to control things because we're scared. And 90% of the things, I'm telling you guys, you're gonna see this, are done out of fear and lies, control. And it's a very well fabricated. There's a reason why all these motivational speakers, there's been a trend of the Matrix. There's a reason why, guys. But keep going on retention. The benefits are worth it. All of these cycles, the realizations, although some things are painful to realize, and it takes time too, guys. Like you're not gonna get to the depth of this like in 3 weeks, bro, or 4 weeks. It's gonna take a long time. You have to do fasting and semen retention again and again, guys. And I recommend a structure, biblical something, dude. But the longer you do this, and you make your intention, I want to know the truth. The truth will show you what it is. At first, it'll be like, oh, really? Damn, I didn't expect that. And then you might feel empty, but after, you'll be liberated. Okay, guys? Thank you for watching. Good luck on your journey. Do not relapse. Do the work. Push yourself in the gym. And peace out.